While in Los Angeles, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, might experience a significant twist on Young and the Restless. Based on some hints dropped by other characters, I'm just wondering whether they're going to do anything hasty that shocks everybody, viewers, and all the other characters. We will discuss the possibility that Holden and Claire could surprise everyone by eloping while they are out of town. Claire is currently enjoying a great time in Los Angeles with Holden. He is taking her to all the greatest places in Los Angeles. She is getting to know him better by going out to clubs, drinking vodka, and meeting his pals. Not all of it. His secrets are progressively being revealed. Naturally, Michael Mueller's character Kyle Abbott then chose to unexpectedly interrupt Claire's trip. She seems to be getting closer to Holden as a result of that. Although Claire was extremely patient with Kyle this week, he will continue to press her until she gives him a last severe rejection and sends him back to Genoa City, while she continues to do as she pleases in Los Angeles. It wouldn't take much, in my opinion, for Claire to end up sleeping with Holden. However, given something Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, recently remarked, I'm wondering if she would go further. It made me pause and reflect. She expressed her wish that Claire won't act rashly while in Los Angeles. Holden and Claire are having a great time together, and she even informed him that drinking is fun because it makes you forget your worries, which isn't exactly the healthiest attitude, so it's definitely a legitimate worry. As everyone knows, Claire has little partying or drinking experience. Therefore, it's possible that she could get into trouble by hanging out with Holden in wild, nefarious Los Angeles. After that, I could absolutely imagine her taking too many Vespers and doing something she will later regret. Something impulsive, crazy, and unlike anything she has ever done. November sweeps are approaching quickly, and I have a hunch that something unexpected is about to happen. The quick journey from Los Angeles to Vegas is ideal for an impromptu elopement. Given Victoria's concerns about Claire acting rashly while she was abroad, it's quite conceivable that she and Holden fled to Sin City. Perhaps they make a quick detour to Vegas for an Elvis wedding, or they get wasted and get married in Los Angeles. As everyone knows, Claire wanted to enjoy her life to the fullest before getting married to Kyle. Even though she rejected Kyle, she might find it amusing to marry Holden if she is intoxicated. If Claire drinks too much, her vindictive streak, which she was raised with, may come out. In LA, she's been wearing bolder outfits lately. Perhaps Holden's influence is liberating, or perhaps it's risky. We'll find out in time. In essence, Kyle desired that Claire become a mother to Harrison Locke, Redding Munsell, and start a family right now. However, she was never given the opportunity to live freely because she was brought up in a nightmare by the cunning Jordan Howard, Colleen Zank. Claire is too young to be a mother or a wife. She was conditioned as a weapon, not a woman, thus her emotional development is out of step with her age. You can learn who you are and make mistakes at this age. Perhaps she elopes with Holden after making a huge mistake, or perhaps it's not a mistake at all. Holden is obviously in love, and it would be a big step if he could marry a Newman Harris. It's the kind of story that only the young and the restless can do, whether it's about love or impulse. With the exception of her grandfather Victor Newman, Eric Braden, who is infamously domineering, the Newmans are the ideal family to marry into. Despite his potential preference for Holden over Kyle, he would not condone Claire's elopement. To his credit, Holden seems to really care about Claire and doesn't come across as domineering or malevolent. I hope Claire and Holden decide to be married in a spontaneous, romantic yet stupid way. However, it would seem horrible if Holden were sober and exploited and inebriated Claire. Expect the family to demand an annulment if she returns home married. Victor might even force Holden to leave the marriage by taking out his checkbook. However, Victor might let it happen and surprise everyone. He might even take pleasure in making fun of Kyle's marriage to someone else. Unlike Holden, who is self-made, Victor believes Kyle is a spoilt nepo baby. Holden might actually gain Victor's respect if he consents to a postnuptial agreement, safeguarding the family fortune. It feels like a huge red flag that something crazy is about to happen when Victoria warns Claire not to act rashly in Los Angeles. She may get a scandalous tattoo or elope, but one thing is for sure, she is at last living her life. After everything she's been through, including being raised by Jordan and being stolen as a baby, Claire is entitled to a few careless decisions. We'll have to wait and see how far she can go before the November sweeps. There have been many unexpected unions in Genoa City, but few could compare to the mayhem that is developing between Claire Grace and Holden Finn. Fans can tell this story is headed for something crazy, and possibly even illegal, from their first surprising connection to their emotionally charged times. But may the young and the restless be gearing up for its biggest shock yet. A secret elopement between these two young lovers. Hold on tight, for the Abbott-Newman family dynamics may be permanently altered over the course of the next few weeks, if the most recent indications are any indication. Claire's journey has been one of suffering and atonement. Claire spent months trying to put her broken life back together after being tricked by her insane Aunt Jordan and guided down a sinister road of retaliation against the Newmans. A tenuous peace started to grow after she received unexpected forgiveness from Victoria Newman, who welcomed her as a daughter, presenting Holden, who is endearing, enigmatic, and everything Claire didn't realize she needed. Despite their unpleasant meeting, there was a connection between them. Their shared sense of loneliness and urge to start over produced an instant bond. What began as mutual understanding soon grew into palpable chemistry. Claire was apprehensive, though, because of her past. Who, after all, could love someone who had already been charged with attempting to ruin her own family? Holden, however, saw through her wounds. He saw Claire as a survivor rather than the evil that others were whispering about. And Claire found hope once more in that conviction. However, as every fan of Y&R is aware, hope is rarely free. Holden is more than a mere new arrival in Genoa City. According to rumors, he might be associated with one of the most influential families on the program, perhaps the Abbotts or the Chancellors. Despite his mistrust, Jack Abbott has shown interest in the young guy and offered him a job at J-But. Jack's protective tendencies kicked in when he saw Holden hanging out with Claire. Getting engaged with someone who has a turbulent past could backfire, he cautioned him. However, obstinate and idealistic, Holden dismissed Jack's worries. Ashley Abbott, meantime, discovered that she had a strange amount of sympathy for Claire. Ashley saw a lady battling to take back control of her life as a kindred spirit after her own breakdown and hardships. Perhaps Claire is just what Holden needs. Someone who understands pain and wants to heal, she said to Jack in a clear way. Jack, who sees risk in matching two emotionally vulnerable people, was offended by that remark. Nevertheless, Holden and Claire kept meeting in secret, out of Genoa City's prying eyes. Victoria Newman's protectiveness toward her daughter has always been intense. She's resolved to protect Claire's mental and emotional well-being after almost losing her to Jordan's deception. At first, Victoria tried to remain receptive after learning that Claire was seeing Holden. However, the tension between the two powerful families started to simmer the moment she found out that Holden might have ties to the Abbotts. Victoria approached her daughter directly, saying, "You don't need to rush into anything to prove you've changed, Claire. It shouldn't seem rebellious to love." However, that's precisely how Claire feels. She declares that she is no longer defined by her background or her mother's anxieties in her connection with Holden, which is her first taste of independence. Claire was only driven deeper into Holden's arms by Victoria's attempts to shield her. It was a joke at first. One night, after sneaking away for supper at the Genoa City Athletic Club, Holden suggested, "Maybe we should just run away and make it official." However, he could tell by the expression in Claire's eyes that it wasn't really that hilarious. The prospect of beginning over with someone who loves her without conditions was irresistible to a girl who has never really had a family of her own, one free from deceit and manipulation. Holden has been looking for stability as well. He took solace in Claire's calm fortitude, since he was plagued by family secrets, and wanted to escape other people's expectations. In a matter of weeks, rumors circulated across Genoa City that Holden had been seen ring shopping. And it wasn't just any ring either. It was a specially made item from Fenmore's that was covertly bought under a false identity. If that doesn't indicate an impending elopement, what does? Naturally, secrets in Genoa City are soon revealed. Word reached Nikki Newman, who has never truly trusted Claire despite her development. She immediately went to Victoria after learning that her granddaughter might be making reckless plans. Victoria was equally frightened and angry. Another Newman controversy that made headlines was the last thing she wanted. Kyle Abbott, who heard Holden answer an enigmatic phone call regarding reservations for two, told Jack about the rumor in the meantime. Kyle made snap judgments right away, alerting his father to the possibility that Holden was using Claire as leverage against the Newmans. Although Jack was unsure, he was certain that Holden and Claire's irresponsible actions could rekindle the Abbotts and Newmans' long-standing rivalry, from which the families would never fully recover. Tension reached a breaking point as the October air grew frigid. Claire packed her things and left Victoria's house in the middle of the night because she was sick of being treated like a helpless child. On her desk was a handwritten note that read, "Mom, I have to live my own life. Please realize that I'm not doing this to harm you. I'm doing it for myself. I cherish you, Claire." Holden's vehicle was spotted departing the Grand Phoenix a few hours later. They reportedly went north, possibly to Lake Tahoe or Chicago. Both were inaccessible in the morning. Voicemail immediately rang on their phones. In a panic, Victoria begged Nick and even Phyllis for help in finding them. Concerned too, Jack sent Kyle and Summer to check if Holden had disclosed his plans to anybody. The sole hint? A picture of a tiny chapel encircled by trees with a single heart emoji, as the caption was briefly uploaded to Claire's private social media account before being removed. Online, fans went crazy right away. Is it possible? Did Holden and Claire really carry out their covered elopement? The consequences will be severe if the pair has really tied the knot. For Victoria, it's another blow to her already weak trust. Claire ran away again, this time into the arms of someone she hardly knew, despite her best efforts to reunite with her. It's a nightmare for the Abbotts' public relations. If Holden's impetuous actions make the Abbott name the focus of a Newman scandal, Jack's rage will know no limits. In the meantime, if Nikki feels Claire was forced, she will demand answers and may even threaten to file for divorce. The most important question still stands, though: will Claire and Holden's love endure the impending firestorm? Love tales that start in chaos have always been the lifeblood of the young and the restless, and Claire and Holden's story may be the next great installment. Their relationship echoes the drama of Victor and Nikki, or Nick and Sharon, and it reflects the show's iconic pairings of star-crossed lovers who struggle against familial expectations. Fans are unable to overlook the darker undertones, though. Holden's history is still unclear, and Claire's emotional state is still unstable. Some viewers speculate that he might be concealing a link to someone at Newman Enterprises, or possibly Jordan's former network. Could Holden really be so affectionate? Or is he engaging in a protracted scam that will ruin Claire's recently discovered tranquility? Expect significant discoveries in the upcoming weeks.